Yelves over here near the barista court.
You gonna let me rest or what?
You look bored as I feel, pard. I never know what to do with myself when I'm not out on a damn job. How do you spend your days off? Dating? That doesn't sound like me. Slacking. Talk about a waste of a vacation. Hey, that's right, you're living over there with Elma and Lynn. I bet they're fun to be around, huh? Nothing wrong with spending a quiet day at home when you're with friends or family. I certainly don't regret that aimless time I spent with, well, you know who. I most certainly do not, but you don't seem like you're gonna tell me. Anyway, I got nothing but free time on my hands today. I'm so bored I'm pissing my day away with this bunch of deadbeats. You better go early to bed tomorrow. Jeez, you want to get off my back, Dad? What kind of hypocrite goes around at this time of night telling other people they ought to be in bed? Fair! If you want me to go back to my bed so bad, maybe you ought to lead by example. Cause there's no goddamn way I'm going home before you are. Still, I guess even when your body ain't tired, your brain needs to rest to stay screwed on straight. So you know what? I'm gonna take your advice and meander on home. Hope you're happy. Let's go cause some trouble outside the city next time we see each other, yeah? Off duty. All clear. In the afternoon, Lynn might just find your dog over here. This little pup seemed lonely, so I took him for a walk. He won't stop licking my face, and now it's all sticky and gross. Plus it smells like jerky. That's okay, because he's so darn cute! The Blade Barracks is being way more fun now that he's around. Yeah, he's a good boy. Yeah, and I think he loves being here. Have you seen how hard his little tail wags when you come home? Hey, I have an idea. Tricks! I bet you're a great teacher, right? And it'll be easy with a student he's so eager to impress. Okay, so what trick do you want to start with? I guess shaking hands would be the most basic, but I'll leave it up for the master. Teacher Lynn? Offer Lynn your hand and say shake! That gave her affinity! Not me, the dog! Seriously? Is that how you think of me? Like I'm just some pet? This is unforgivable, Dr. Von Crazy. Until you buy me a crepe from Rosemoss, that is. Then I might be able to forget this ever happened. That gave her affinity! I can't believe that! That's incredible! L is going to be over here near... What frickin' street is this? Well, this street, that's for darn sure.
Fancy of you to meet us.
Ah, dear friend, Dr. Von Crazy, you have come at a most fortuitous moment. This good man-on fellow intends to buy one of our many fine creations. However, he wishes not to pay us in credits, but in pizza. We have stressed repeatedly that we rarely eat pizza, but he remains quite adamant. We are reminded of your human aphorism that a nod is as good as a drink with a blind horse. How true! What? I truly have no idea what idiom he's massacring here. It's that bad. It matters not how good this frozen pizza is. A barter economy is not a viable model. Yeah, you're clever, aren't you? Well, as they say, when in Rome, get to roaming! Mr. Nagi was kind enough to suggest a book of economics that he believed would help us with our fledgling business. He mentioned it had been written by the founder of Sakuraba Industries. We found it to be tremendously interesting, both for our learning Earth history and traditions, as well as economics. And now that we think back, the book stressed that one must always prioritize long-term gains over short-term profits. Will anyone ever learn that lesson? Man, that's the most unrealistic thing in this game, that some mogul of industry actually knows that. We suppose that would include being willing to accept pizza as a form of payment. So perhaps we could find a way to increase the value of the pizza, then resell it at an appropriate markup. This could be the beginning of a beautiful new business model. We need to begin developing new products at once, lest we wander this opportunity. We will continue our conversation another day. Business acumen indeed. There's Elma in the morning in the commercial district. Just kinda at these buildings. Oh, Dr. Von Crazy, what a coincidence. Are you interested in cars? I am possibly the least interested in cars person ever. Is that right? I'm hardly an expert on the topic, but the cars here seem different from the ones I knew on Earth. Yeah, someone seems to have given them the Blade Runner treatment. I have a gearhead friend who used to use all kinds of crazy car jargon when he drove me around in his classic car. White walls, glass packs, supercharged Hemi, rack pinion and steering, stuff like that. His car was really old-fashioned and it stalled all the time, but I think it gave me an appreciation for the history of the automobile. It made me feel like cars were more than just a bunch of bolts and metal. My first car was steam-powered! Is that so? You must know a great deal about cars in that case. I'm sure humanity didn't just decide to switch up to gasoline overnight after all. Technology always evolves to make use of the tools available to it. But if humanity thrives on this planet, the cars we now see in this city will be considered classics one day themselves. That would be nice, wouldn't it? Driving force. So many puns in these heart-to-heart names, I swear. Yelv's right near where L's heart-to-heart was, just at night. Oh, it's Dr. Von Crazy. You here to stop the fight? Is this really a fight? He kinda looks like he's just dancing. You don't even know what this bastard said to me. He was mocking the Reclaimers, saying we're just a bunch of grave robbers and junk collectors, which is why I'm gonna bust his pretty little face. This isn't worth your time. You're telling me to take a deep breath and relax? Yeah, okay, fine. Ah, screw this! You're as big an idiot as he is! And now my best friend's gone, you and Blade are all I got left. You think I'm gonna take it sitting down when someone talks crap about the work I do? Hell no! You gotta understand that part. Now give me one reason I shouldn't knock the rest of this son of a bitch's teeth. Use a nearby skell to back Yelv out? I don't even have a license, and I can just say, "Hi, I brought the cavalry." Or I can say I'm telling Eleonora, like a schoolyard, like some snitch, yeah, some schoolyard snitch. These are both great. I think I'm going to... Damn it, don't bring her into this. That's low. If Eleanor ever got wind of this little incident, I'd be scrubbing toilets the rest of my goddamn life. Fine then, you win, fight's over. This jerk can buy me a meatloaf platter or something and we'll call it even. Peacekeeping, eh? There's more stuff to do in the industrial district. Oh, I was standing on it. There you are. Right at the integrated production plant skip travel point. It's Alexa. Hiya, Dr. Von Crazy. I was just here watching the skells again. I've been seeing enough parked skells to last a lifetime, but seeing them in motion, I never get tired of that. Doesn't it just get your heart all aflutter watching them zip around the Outfitters test hangar? Disdain? Is this how you spend your days off? On my days off, I go to church, then shopping, then maybe visit a friend's house for dinner. That's pretty normal, right? Okay, sure, I also stop by the hangars on my way home so I can watch the mechanics service scows. That's what I thought your religion was. I didn't think you went to church. You must think I'm some sort of deranged skull fanatic, huh? Well, yes, that's basically your character. Ouch. You nodded so quickly, I was afraid I'd given you whiplash. But Daddy always used to tell me that no matter what I did, I should always try to be the best. I'll never be the most knowledgeable about skulls, or the best pilot, but when it comes to loving them, I think I'm #1 for sure. So I guess I'm proud to be the most deranged skull fanatic in New LA. Why is it called Hyper Railgun? Was there something else on one of the other paths that I missed? Anyway, HB's just right over here. Good morning to you, Dr. Von Crazy. I'm pleased to see you awake and hard at work at this earliest of hours. Were you just passing by? As you can see, I'm performing an inspection of the integrated production plant. This was something we could ask last time, too. Yeah, let's commend him for doing Blade HQ's job again. Truly, your powers of perception place you among Blade's elite. I heard that since the xenoforms arrived here in New LA, the integrated production plant has been running at full capacity, day and night. If any sort of trouble were to occur here, it would be a serious setback for Blade, the civilians of New LA, and the xenoforms alike. It's when you're at your busiest that you're most likely to miss the early signs of trouble, so I figured the plant could benefit from a third-party inspection. And that is what brings me here today. It doesn't seem to be in any immediate danger. I agree. I've found nothing of serious concern. The plant is being run by professionals and my fears appear to be wholly unfounded. Outside of an abrupt 2,000% increase in pizza requests. Okay. The plant faces no significant challenges. Now, if you'll excuse me, I must report my findings to HQ. I am pleased to see you faring well, but do not let complacency be your undoing. I hope we can work together again soon. I didn't realize there would be so much pizza stuff.
Guess what?
We haven't encountered the reason why pizza is important yet. Anyway, Doug's just over here. Those last two were early morning, and then Doug is morning. Hey there, it's Dr. Von Crazy. I was just asking the nice lady here to pull together some extra first aid kits for us. My next mission could involve run-ins with a pair of tyrants, possibly at the same time. And if we end up in a tough fight, we're likely to suffer multiple injuries. Need help? Oh, I don't think we need to go that far. I have my job to do and you've got yours. I'm grateful that you'd look out for us like that, but it isn't right to let you carry the weight of Blade's mission on your shoulders. You have to trust that I can handle this. Of course, if it all goes horribly wrong, we'll call for reinforcements. In that case, you might get a chance to help out after all. Oh, that reminds me. I've got the mission under control, but there's something else I could use your help with. It's a significantly greater threat than the mission I just told you about. It might not even be an exaggeration to say that it concerns the fate of humanity itself. What I'm talking about is the development of the Scale Flight Module. There aren't enough replacement mimiosomes in the world for me to survive these field tests Lynn's running. What? Hey, I thought you wanted to help. Don't blow me off now. Hey, listen, I'm being serious here. Dr. Von Crazy. I guess we're just disappearing after that. No, we're not helping you with that. Of all the things, that is the one we cannot help with. There you are. Arena's right near Doug's hangout in the hangar.
Didn't think I'd see you here.
Fancy meeting you here, Dr. Von Crazy. As you can see, I was just having my gun serviced. I've been working with her since we were back on Earth. She knows exactly what I want and always tunes it to perfection. How about you, Dr. Von Crazy? How do you keep your weapons maintained? I just kinda slot augments into them and then just shoot things. What? Ever? Wow, you must like living on the edge. But you don't understand that if you don't keep your equipment optimized at all times, something is certain to go horribly, horribly wrong. Armor is one thing. That just hurts you if it fails. But weapons protect the lives of friends and comrades. And if you value them, you need to do everything possible to protect them. Although, if I had to guess, I'd say that Lynn is probably cleaning and maintaining your weapon while you're asleep. That girl is always looking out for her friends. Meanwhile, you're so careless that you hadn't even noticed. Have you ever heard of a man named Mondo, by the way? No, can't say I have. Never heard of it. He's from Lau's team. Real low-key guy. Give Mondo a gun you want serviced, and he'll do you better than any mechanic in New LA. Gwyn was so impressed, he actually asked to be Mondo's apprentice. So lately, whenever Gwyn has a free moment, he disassembles his weapon and gets to work. I'm sure it's great practice, but, well, it's starting to get weird. Like, when he's done, he always spends a few moments stroking out the tips of his fingers. Okay? And then, I kid you not, he licks it. That's gotta be covered in grime. It's not as bad as, like, a car, but still. It's maybe the most revolting thing I've ever seen. So the next time you run into Gwyn, tell him not to be such a creepo, alright? This is my rifle. They do both use rifles, don't they? Alexa should hopefully, yes, be on this path just off of Blade Tower. I've gotta say, these segments, this segment in particular, sucks. You are not going to be unlocking this segment for a very, very long time. You're probably going to have beaten the final boss before you unlock this segment. Anyway, distractions out of the way, let's talk to Alexa. They call these skulls yellow hammers. Okay, a mechanic named Matthew calls them that, and it hasn't really caught on at all, but it's still pretty cool. Apparently, the two-wheeled type is too underpowered for construction work, so they use a four-wheeled model. In other respects, it's basically identical to the models used by Blade. But they paint it a different color, and of course give it a bunch of industrial attachments. Still, if you remove the attachments and revert it to its initial configuration, you can equip it with blade and skull weapons, no sweat. Furthermore, you are very knowledgeable about this, aren't you? What? Oh no, I'm really not all that good at this stuff. I'm still learning, you know? I couldn't possibly keep up with any of the veteran mechanics. Still, I've enjoyed every single day since we landed here on Mira. Yes, we have a lot to learn, people get angry at me, lives are in danger, the ganglion are a bunch of jerks, blah blah blah. I get it, all that sucks. But I've never been this excited about anything before, and that just drives me to work as hard as I can. Oh, whoops! I promised Tika I'd help her test that new weapon after this. She'll be furious if I'm late. Sorry I spent this whole time talking your ear off. Next time, I'll give you a chance to talk. Dragon's Maw! The Yellow Hammer and the Dragon's Maw! We kind of wish I'd clicked a different thing. We might have known what that Dragon's Maw was about. Lynn should be somewhere in Division Drive here. Somewhere. Is she on the second level, maybe? Damn it. Where's the path to the second level? Here it is. Let's check up there. Really? Yeah, there you are, on the second level. Don't forget this place exists. Dr. Von Crazy, you're just in time. You have to save me. These women are fawning all over me, and I don't know what to do. Join in and begin fawning over Lynn? Oh, I gotta. Hey, stop that. Don't be a creep. It's just, look, I know they mean well. I mean, they invite me out for cake, they ask me to go out on picnics. They're always wanting to go out on long drives or catch a movie together. But I'm a busy girl. I've got lots of errands and stuff to run on my day off. I don't have time for all this. You could do it all if you made a mission out of it. Hey, not a bad idea. I like the way you think. So let's see, what kind of mission would this be? Whoops! Thanks, camera. Oh, I know! I'll invite everyone on an adventure to go search for one of those great picnic spots we keep hearing about. We can drive there in my Skell, eat some cake, and relax under the sun, then come back and catch some of the latest kaiju flick before we crash. Mission complete! Hey, but wait a minute. If I turn my day into a mission, is it really a day off anymore? I guess not, huh? There you are. Neil now shows up right beside Lau's hangout spot.
Listen.
Hi, you. Just the person I was hoping to see. So, for my Earth culture research, I commissioned someone to salvage some data from a piece of the lifefold for me. And in that data, I found an absolutely fascinating concept. A little thing you call a novel. Isn't that just so creative? I mean, fabricated stories read for entertainment. What kind of mad genius came up with that? Anyway, I thought of reading one for myself, but there's just so much more data than I'd thought possible. They're all categorized based on something called genre. Say, which genre do you like best? Young adult novels? I mean, really, I'm mostly into fantasy, but that's not really on here, so I guess sci-fi would be the closest. A science fiction novel, According to the data, that's a work of fiction of relative complexity, depicting advanced technology, space travel, extraterrestrial life, etc. Yes, I see. How interesting. No, hang on, am I reading this right? That doesn't sound very original at all. Wouldn't that fall under contemporary writing? Yeah, I mean, it was written 50 years ago, before all this stuff existed. I suppose it's not the case for humans, is it? This might be a good way to see the universe from your eyes. Well, in any case, thank you for the advice. I can see I've got a long road ahead of me. Earthology. Yeah, she said she's an archaeologist, so it makes sense she'd be interested in the history of Earth. Completing those heart-to-hearts actually opened up a few new ones.
Let's see what you're capable of.
Ah, Dr. Von Crazy, impeccable timing. Would you be so kind as to drag me out of here? Sure. What? Your quick thinking never ceases to impress. Once again, I find myself being overzealously courted by a number of eager ladies. You'd think I'd be used to it by now, but I am most certainly not. Had I been satisfied living the life of your everyday Joe Pathfinder, I suppose I could have avoided this. But alas, this is the price one must pay to be the elitist of the elite. Ah, but I'm sure I'm not telling you anything you don't already know. As a fellow elite, you must struggle with this sort of thing yourself, yes? I imagine the good ladies of New LA must hound you relentlessly and without pause. Not as much? Really? I'm dreadfully sorry to hear that. What could the people of New LA possibly be thinking? After all, there are other purposes. What the heck am I doing? Tongue, please. After all, there are other perfectly desirable people here besides myself. Yes, well, I fear this is no time for a leisurely discussion. You must drag me out of here at once. Please, feel free to use as much force as you're comfortable with. Then it will be you whom the ladies blame for my abrupt departure, and not I. In this way, we can spare them a little bit of the heartbreak, which is but the classy thing to do. I'll see that I make it up to you later. A troubled man. And he actually joins your party after this. I was absolutely shocked that he just kind of joins the party during a heart-to-heart. That came out of nowhere. No one else does that. I mean, unless one of the new DLC characters do, and I don't know about it. But I've completed every heart-to-heart in the game, in the base game, rather. And none of the other ones do that. That caught me so off guard. Anyway, Alexa's over here. Hey, Dr. Von Crazy, I was just checking out your pup here. I can't believe how real it seems. It's warm, it has brushy fur, and it feels really good to pet. And when you step on its tail, it barks and bites you. This is some incredible AI. Yep, real cutting-edge technology. It's almost in the same league as Skells. Oh, wait. What if we put this AI into Skells? Damn. I have got to find some fan art of a Skell acting like a dog. You have got to take this to the arms manufacturers. Wait, what? You actually like my idea? Well, hot damn, I'm glad someone does. I know Tika would just shoot it right down. When I suggested a while ago that we stop producing cars for New LA and focus on civilian Skells instead, she actually slapped me in the face. And then she said she was saving the backhand return slap for the next stupid idea. It wasn't always like this. Back on Earth, I was just a normal military cadet studying behavioral sciences. Who'd have thought I'd become such a Skell fanatic? Huh, that is quite surprising, actually. You don't seem like that type for psychology. Really? You didn't know that? Yeah, my mom wanted me to go into a military academy straight out of school. I wasn't all that excited for it, but I was a pretty docile kid. I basically went along with it because I knew it would make her happy. And before I even knew what was happening, I found myself stationed on the White Whale. I never even rode in a Skell before I arrived on Mira. Oh, but I'm leaving out all the best parts. I wanted to tell you the long version of my story, and I want to hear yours too. But we'd better put a cork in this for now. Catch you later. Strike launcher! Oh, cute, there's one here? Doug, huh? Well, I did not realize Doug was there, but it seems he is. I didn't think I had the progression requirements for this one.
Hey, what are you doing here?
You see what's going on over there? Those folks on the tennis court are doing everything completely wrong. Yeah, there's a man on using the tennis court as a balance beam. Two of them! And the other man on cheering them on. That's great. Can I get a better shot of this? No, I can't. The fence is in the way. Maybe if I use the door. Dang! Crud. There, that does it. Tennis isn't a balancing competition, you know? So what's everyone getting all excited about? Why don't you teach them how to play? Nope, not gonna happen. If I start teaching them how to play, they'll be all over me. There'd be no end to it. And besides, stepping up and teaching folks just isn't my style. I'll let you handle that kind of thing. So what brings you here, Dr. Von Crazy? Came for exercise. Ah, too bad, I just finished cooling down. If I knew you were coming, I would've waited. I don't mind jogging solo, but it really is more fun to do it with a friend. I'll let you know next time I'm here. If you're free, come on down. Discipline and discovery. That is definitely some discovery. I wonder if I can stand on this. Heck yeah! Everything has collision. And finally, the last one, probably, is Elma's on the man-on ship.
Look who it is.
What are you doing here, Dr. Von Crazy? You must enjoy this place as much as I do, huh? Are you psychic? This place is so good. Seriously, this is my favorite place. In ULA, rather. It's a beautiful sight, isn't it? So, what's catching your eye today? The friendship! The light. Ah, indeed. I'm sure the Manon don't give it a second thought, but it certainly is beautiful. Do you know that this light is the power source for this entire vessel? It's some kind of perpetual motion machine that doesn't produce a very high energy output, but is perfectly safe and completely clean. I doubt humanity has the technical capacity to pull off anything like it, at least not yet. But I'm sure it'll be available to us someday. Vandom is practically being salivating at the thought. Too much talking, I should have cut these short. The light is to the Manon what fire is to humanity. And like fire, one day it won't even seem special at all. It'll be just a part of our world that we take for granted. Mankind advances, and if it's by joining hands with xenoforms, that only makes it all the more impressive. Man, this place is cool. I think that's all of the heart-to-hearts that are... Oh no, there's another one. Crud! Hi, Doug. But other than that, that's all of them. Right. It appears all the time, so I can just head there right away. There you are. Hey, Dr. Von Crazy. Check it out, I just bought a new car. Well, pretty nice, right? Are you gonna use it on your area missions? Eric, are you serious? If I took this thing out to New LA, it'd be a pile of scrap within about 5 minutes. It's a great car and all, but I'll stick with scales when I'm on the job. So what kind of car would you like to buy? say a big bus with a Z40 with a huge wheel? Well, SUVs are absolutely horrible, as everyone should know. And sports cars are apparently things that can't even drive outdoors. So I guess the bus. A bus? You're planning to... Well, that was annoying. My recording laptop decided to crash in the middle of this heart-to-heart. I hope I didn't lose too much footage. I know the video at least survived. I have it. It's there. I can open it. I don't know how much of this heart-to-heart survived. Hopefully all of the stuff before this line. So this has been great. Anyhow, heck, your team would barely fill up the first couple rows. You'd have room for pretty much everyone you know in New LA if you wanted. Guess you're more the merrier type, huh? It's kinda interesting how you can tell so much about someone's personality from the car they want to drive. I bet Lau used to drive an SUV. Do you think he's some basic wine dad or something? He probably used to go camping with his family. You would not use an SUV to go camping. You would use a station wagon or a Jeep. What are you... Are you on drugs? I wish we still lived in a peaceful world like that, but I imagine we won't be back there for a long time. Well, at least I can still enjoy a brief drive during my breaks. Anyway, take care, Dr. Von Crazy. Pastimes and Pride. Well, I think that is definitely my cue to end the episode. So next time on Xenoblade Chronicles X, holy crap, we are going to be doing something that doesn't crash my laptop. See you guys then.